Hello, literature lovers. Today I want to discuss Jew of Malta by Christopher Marlowe. Talking about some key facts. It's by Christopher Marlowe, and the genre is tragicomedy. The language here used is English. It's really very famous, and it's Machiavel. It's a caricature of Machiavel play, and it's very famous in 16th century. And talking about the setting, and here is the protagonist. It is during 1565 Turkish siege of Malta. It's an island in the Mediterranean Sea, so you can feel the plot. It's very important. Some of the climax and falling action tone is very important. These are the themes related to it. The motive, and especially the biblical allusions, which were very famous at that time, are also given. Foreshadowing is also there. Mode symbols were very important. Talking about some of the detailed factors and the timing and when it was really staged. It became very famous because of the consequences and the tales related to it. And it was made in quartos, and we can feel it. And since it was a play which has its own peculiarity, especially since Christopher Marlowe is very famous from its context, and the biblical figures are important and we should not forget them. And it's quite anti-Semitism, that is anti-religious also, and it can be called. Talking about its summary, some of the peculiar characters which are very commonly used, like Barabbas and Farnaz. So it's very important to understand the summary, although it's a very big play and not so easy to understand. But if you read it clearly, you will get overall summary quite easily, and it will give you an intrigue of how things are. And the acts are divided. Talking about the character list, it is Machiavel and Barabbas, Abigail, Catherine, Matthias, Farnaz, Lodovich, Ethmo, Frere, Abbas, Calimat, Calipit, Vashos, and Del Cosco, Valamira, Pelia, some knights. It's the overall glossary since the terms are quite primitive and it's sometimes difficult for us to understand. So some of the lexical items are needed to be understood here in getting the clearer picture of the drama. And talking about the themes, and that includes love and avarice, revenge, hypocrisy, anti-Judaism, anti-Christianity, betrayal, insiders and outsiders. Talking about the motives and deception and dissimulation, and you can feel how this was used. Biblical allusions are very important here, and you can see. Talking about the symbols, gold, Barabbas' nose is also symbolizing, and the price of flesh and beauty, and we can also relate it with Merchant of Venice, since we all know that how William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe are interrelated with each other, and it is sometimes said that, in fact, it's a great controversy that Shakespeare is the same person as Christopher Marlowe is, and both of them are interrelated to each other. So, and sometimes it is said that, in fact, Shakespeare himself planned the murder of Christopher Marlowe, since Christopher Marlowe was murdered, died in a bar quarrel. So there are factors related to it which really point out these things so you can understand how things are. These are the factors, and now we can summarize these things by pointing out Marlowe's perspective. You can see the factors and related to it, all the consequences which Shakespeare mentioned. These are some of the great qualities of Christopher Marlowe. I'm sure you must have got overall perspective of the drama. Thanks for being part of it. Thank you.